A big head. Mammy, Mammy, look. What is it? Oh, son, a big head. Oh, my son, a big head. Yes, Mammy. All these years, son, and now. Yes, Mammy. Come here, son, come here and sit on my knee. There, lean your head. Oh, look at it. Lean your head against me. I'm so proud I could burst. Just a minute, get up a minute. Ah, that's better. Now come back onto my lap and tell me all about it. Did you get it right away, or did it come in stages? I got it right away. All of a sudden, I was popular. Son, popular. Yes. You know, I'd tried for years to be popular. Remember all the ointments? Ointments? For my pimples and blackheads, and the charcoal biscuits for my breath, and the sulphur skin soap, and the dandruff cure that didn't work. Ha ha, son, you were such a funny little hypochondriac. It used to give me a real thrill to see you searching through the women's magazines for free samples. The asthma cigarettes and the herbal tobacco. Phew, you stunk the house out. Well, anyway, I came to realise that it wasn't my looks that were wrong, so I had a bash at my mind. Philosophy, psychology, sociology, quantilism, you know. Yes, I know. I wish you'd get rid of these books. They give me the heebie-jeebies. Ah, you never cared for the brain, Mammy. You didn't trust your brain. Use your instincts, son, you'd say. Your instincts'll see you right. And you were right. I should have used them in the first place. How, son? Well, that's what I did. My instinct said, you want to be popular? Throw your money around. You didn't. I did. It was lovely. Everybody flocked around, admiring me for this and that. And I got a big head. I was walking through the field with a friend, and he stopped in the middle of the field and he asked me, why does the sun shine? Why does the moon not shine on the nights when the moon doesn't shine? I took a book out of my pocket and show him the answers written down. Aha, he says, oh ho, he says, and we carry on walking. He never asked me any more questions. He knew I would show him the book. The book. I cannot wash the turpentine off my fingers. I cannot stand in front of the sink all night. It's no use dancing around me in your nightie. I'm not going to sleep in gloves. Why did you force me to paint your portrait? You knew tonight was the night. What did Rembrandt do, or Picasso? They seem to manage all right. Pass me the eau de cologne and the scrubbing brush. I'm going to have a very last shot. And if this doesn't work, I shall sleep on the dresser. They're the very last fingers I've got. Hooray, hooray, it's working. My hands smell as sweet as snow. This must be what Rembrandt and Picasso used. Darling, I'm ready to go. At last I've washed the turpentine off my fingers. I need not stand in front of the sink all night. Carry on dancing around me in your nightie. I shan't need to sleep in gloves. Mum, I want a dolly just like you. What colour do you want it, son? What colour do I want it, mum? What colour do you want it, son? It's got to be blue. Dum, dum, dum. Blue, 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 blue. Blue, 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 blue. What colour do you want it, son? What colour do I want it, mum? What colour do you want it, son? It's got to be blue. Your sister's dolly's green. That's obscene. I want a blue dolly. I want a blue dolly, or I'll kick the flat to pieces. Come on, son, you're 20. Why don't you get a girl? I'll tell you why, dear mother. There's none of them blue. Mum, I want a dolly just like you. What colour do you want it, son? What colour do I want it, mum? What colour do you want it, son? It's got to be blue. Dum, dum, dum. Blue, 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 blue. Blue, 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 blue. What colour do you want it, son? What colour do I want it, mum? What colour do you want it, son? It's got to be blue. It's got to be blue. It's got to be blue. Blue, blue, blue.
Free wood. I hate wood. Wood is wood. I hate it. I hate shape. Wood has a shape. Oh, I hate that wooden shape. Shape is round the wood to give it shape. Air surrounds the shape and presses it in. I will suck the air away, set the shape free, and let the wood run wild. Glasgow Dreamer, episode 14. Glasgow, Glasgow, where are you? 82 from Loch Gilphead. When no one was home, Mother would fasten on my roller skates, and I would push her round the flat, she balancing herself with the sweeping brush. I learned a lot about her body as I grew taller. She had soft calves, muscular thighs, and corset. By the time my hands were level with the top of her corset, the fun had palled, and we stopped by tacit agreement. Initially, it was very difficult to get any momentum. She was a fleshy woman, so she'd bend over and undo the straps. I'd push the skates. She'd jump back on and fasten the straps while the skates were in motion. Goodness knows how she kept her balance. And we'd set off down the hall, into the big room, round the table and back out, down to the kitchen, round the table, and so on, till I was sweating and Mother collapsed into a chair or onto the floor in hysterics. She'd have put the kettle on before we started, so that a cup of tea was soon ready, with a home-made biscuit. You can imagine my astonishment when, as a young man, I went dancing, and my right hand discovered that the corset was not a universal garment, and that women's flesh was not like custard, to be bound in, else it would all fall out. Glasgow, Glasgow, where are you? 103 from Fort William. Glasgow Dreamer, episode 15. Glasgow, Glasgow, where are you? 169 from Inverness. Come on down to the midden, called Emma Walker. You did what Emma Walker asked, and anyway she was 3 years older. Her mother, dressed in black, fed beggars a slice of bread and a bowl of tomato soup, which they ate on the stairs. I went through the dunny to the back green. There, waiting for me, was Emma, and an ex of mine, Millie Hamilton. "Take your cock out," whispered Emma fiercely. I undid my buttons and took it out, where it stood, blinking in the unaccustomed light. Millie produced a dod of filthy cotton wool, and fell to dabbing at it purposelessly. "That's enough," said Emma in undirected disgust, just as I was beginning to respond, and the pair of them walked quickly away, without a thank you, leaving me totally bewildered and a bit disappointed. I suppose I was one of the props in some secret game. and the cotton wool looked as if it had come off a sore that was healing. I could have caught a disease and died for all they cared. I never played with them again, and exercised greater initiative in future games with Giddles, in a dreamy way. Glasgow, Glasgow, where are you? 27 from Stirling. Local natural sounds. A man laid his ear to Ben Nevis to hear what a mountain sounded like. But his ear was too small, so he heard only local natural sounds. The mountain was there, yet it eluded him. He went home and put his ear to his consort. She grew incensed and put her brogue to his kilt. The next time he passed Ben Nevis, he spat, but it fell short. Loneliness. A man is like a clock, said my grandmother. When my grandfather died, she transferred her attentions to the grandfather clock. One day, I found a cup of tea and a herring, pickle and tomato sandwich on the carpet in front of it. She stood on the kitchen chair and kissed the dial, trembling her legs to make her dress rustle. I had to help her move the clock onto the bed. She lay with her arm round the case, while I kept the pendulum going. Grandfather had been a peddler, so I bought her a travelling clock. They went out for long walks in the neighbourhood, with a thermos and a piece of cake. The clock ticked, and she talked back. It started a fashion. The local park was full of widows with clocks. The racket drove us away. Loneliness became a thing of the past. Where the river bends, the blind men fall in. Where the river bends, the blind men fall in. Where do they come from, the blind men? Why do they all fall in? I don't know, and neither do they. A-da-ra-ra-dee-ree-dee-ree-ree. A-da-ra-ra-dee-ree-dee-ree-ree. I walked round to where the river bends and I fell in. I walked round to where the river bends and I fell in. Where do I come from? Why did I fall in? I don't know. A-da-ra-ra-dee-ree-dee-ree-ree. A-da-ra-ra-dee-ree-dee-ree-ree. We all went back to the bank and fell in again and 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 again. A-da-ra-ra-dee-ree-dee-ree-ree. A-da-ra-ra-dee-ree-dee-ree-ree. I never saw a woman, but I followed her down the street and lay down at her feet. I never saw a woman. She used to get very embarrassed and tried to walk away, and tried to walk away. But I'd grab hold of her ankles. Oh, stop your bloody nonsense. Do you think you're Harpo Marx? Do you think you're Harpo Marx? I never saw a woman. Then I'd stand right up and kiss her lips until they'd gone all dry. I'll keep on kissing women until the day they die. For women are like flowers, and I'm a romantic man, and I'm a romantic man, and I like to watch their fingers as they close round the throat of a man. I never saw a woman, a woman, a woman, a woman.
7. I have 7 reasons for refusing your offer, she smiled. I strode to the end of the field and blew a whistle with a blade of grass between my thumbs. A great cloud of fairies appeared and gave her a bloody good going over. How many? I hissed. A warm bucket. I have a soft body, smiled the young woman, her eyes full of rich promise. Fetch me a warm bucket of water, I begged. When she returned, I emptied into it a sack of alum that I carry about me, stirred it with my malacca, then flung it over her with a swift movement. Now you have a hard body, I advised her, and went to bed. Next morning I snapped off one of her little fingers to heal a cut I had made whilst shaving.